The full moon is in Libra on Wednesday night in Australia, where she's asking us to value relationships, to bring balance and find compromise, to be reasonable and to consider others. You can see her rule of Venus, bright in the early evening sky next to the moon. If you look up, there's cosmic support lifting us through these huge transformations. Libra has a way of gliding like a swan on the surface of the water, but underneath, the legs are working triple time to maintain calm. And that's what's happening with this full moon. Libra is left hanging while the other planets are inflating and crushing like an accordion. The big issue here is Neptune and Mercury have joined together in Pisces, casting a swampy fog over Libra's ideals. Neptune and Mercury together can confuse objectives, speak in riddles, and shift the truth. It's a bit gaslighty, and it raises issues about social media, conspiracy theories, mental health, and sea travel. Wise words fall on deaf ears, and indecision reigns, and messages get lost in translation with a scramble to cover up the evidence. In this moon phase, Mercury and Neptune represent the hidden nature of Conoravirus and the impact on our collective state of mind, where hope and mistrust form an impossible truce and learn to exist side by side without being divisive. Libra is showing how this can be done by bringing equality into the way we relate, to view conflict as an exchange rather than an attack, and to look for the beauty in the moment. Neptune and Mercury are really good for meditation and also right now for biting your tongue until you have clearer processed thought. By the end of the week, Mercury will move into Aries and it will be more decisive, streamlined. There's more movement to break free. So hang in there and find a calm centre until this phase passes. Avoid extremes because when Libra's equilibrium is pushed out of range, her gloves come off and justice comes without mercy. To that end, Jupiter and Pluto have met up here at the end of Capricorn, and they're also testing this delicate balance. They're taking care of the business end. On one hand, they've opened up the coffers to bring regeneration, expansive moves to keep economies afloat and damage control on falling stock markets. But Jupiter and Pluto are like a pair of gangster brothers, with a love of power and brooding entitlement. There's an element of royalty about them, but they can bend the rules to their own liking and take advantage of everyone looking the other way. The other agenda Libra has to contend with is Uranus over here in Taurus and Saturn and Mars conjunct over here in Aquarius, applying force and unrest and generally destabilising the atmosphere. In this setup, they're disruptive, volatile, insistent energies, and they're really squirming under cabin pressure to release their pent-up frustrations. This battle may play out as science versus tradition, radical versus conservative, or just my way versus your way. Whatever it is, the seeds are being sown for unavoidable outcomes further down the track. And this doesn't have to be a bad thing. Uranus and Mars are doing their best to propel us forward. Once we stop squabbling and we realise that the change we feared has already happened. Simultaneously, Mars in Aquarius is seeking solutions with Venus over here in Gemini, increasing our connectivity through technology, building social networks, and exchanging information. Mars and Saturn are also spearheading a campaign with Chiron and Lilith in Aries. with the aim of bringing humanitarian governance and a cultural shift that protects the vulnerable. If there's haste over ethics, it will catch up when Saturn, where's Saturn, moves back over the facts in early next year. An example of this Chiron and Lilith influence is in Australia. The economic bailout of our Conservative government has launched in response to COVID-19. It includes free childcare, rent assistance, an increase in unemployment benefits, and protections for carers, health workers and casual workers. This is a 180-degree spin on neoliberal policy, and something that even 2 months ago would never have got off the ground. There are many, many adjustments to the new normal, and some of them will be really hard to take back when coronavirus is no longer in the news. And Libra over here is tipping the scales towards balance and flexibility rather than authoritarian control. 6 months from now, the Libra new moon will be in this position over here, and it won't be under this Neptunian fog. It will be able to reevaluate what's gone down in this time, and she will want justice upheld. For the time being, do the Libran thing of keeping yourself nice, having manners, and seeing the other viewpoint. Hold off big decisions until you can weigh things up with a clear mind. Libra is no fool. She has the dove and the owl as her totems. The dove seeks peace, and the owl sees truth. The duality between them bring love. I'm Merryl, and this is my mystery school. You can contact me online at www.merrylkey.com, where I am available for bookings. Blessed be.